Canada's housing crisis just took a major turn. Here's what it means. So something big just dropped in the new federal budget, and it just might be the biggest policy shift we've seen in years. Hi, it's Diloshan here, and welcome back to another episode of Real Estate Watch. For the first time, Ottawa is openly connecting immigration policy to housing affordability. That's right, something that's been almost taboo to talk about in the housing world until now. Here's what the budget actually says. Housing affordability has improved, supported by lower immigration targets. We're taking back control over the immigration system and putting Canada on a trajectory to bring immigration back to sustainable levels. That is huge. That is a massive shift from the narrative we've heard for nearly a decade, that the housing crisis was mainly about zoning and red tape and not immigration. And to be fair, a lot of the economists agreed with it as well. They said prices were driven by slow supply, not population growth, and that the solution was simple: just build more. Some even claimed that we could triple housing completions. But this budget quietly admits two things that most people avoided saying out loud. One, immigration is part of Canada's DNA, but the pace has to match our ability to build. When population growth keeps outpacing housing completions, year after year, prices don't just rise, affordability collapses. And that's not politics, it's just math. And two, housing supply isn't infinitely flexible. Developers don't ramp up construction when prices are falling. In fact, housing starts drop when the market softens, which is exactly what we're seeing here in Ontario and British Columbia. Even with all the incentives, confidence and margins are shrinking. So you might be asking, why does this matter? Well, because it's the first time that the government is acknowledging that supply alone can't fix affordability in the short term, and that immigration policy has to align with construction capacity. This doesn't mean that Canada is closing the door to newcomers. It's far from it. It means we have to find balance, sustainable immigration that supports economic growth and keeps housing within reach. And for years, anyone who brought this up was accused of being anti-growth or anti-immigrant. But this budget reframes the conversation. Sustainable housing and sustainable immigration go hand in hand. So this is the start of a new era in how Canada approaches affordability. And it's long overdue. So what do you think? Is this a smart course correction? Or too little, too late? Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.